from Waterfront. Today we're here at Rubinet, our favorite faucet company. We're here to check things out, meet Dominic, the owner, creator, and artiste behind this whole line. He's going to show us the showroom and he's going to show us how they make all these beautiful faucets. Everything at Rubinet is super customizable. Every line has its own little features.
Exactly.
But you can also interchange all these features.
Exactly.
So I'm curious to know, how did this come about? Like, where did you get the inspiration to do this?
It all started way back in 1982. Let me tell you how I came up. Started in business like the early age of 21, went broke by 27, lost everything, but I did okay. I learned a lot. I didn't go to school, but that was my school. Yeah. So I took a few years and I worked for this big corporation, and basically I recovered what I lost. I had to go to this show in Italy just to see what's going on in bathroom. I had some experience in the bathroom business, but really in the lower price stuff. So I said, whatever I get into, I'm going to make sure it's in the fashion side of the business, the upper scale. And I'm kind of always been kind of artistic and creative. And I started to see all these beautiful faucets and fixtures and pedestal sinks and stuff, which I knew a little bit about. But they were so damn expensive. Figured, I think there could be a market for this. So I made an arrangement to buy some of these faucets and try them. I rented a little unit on Dufferin Street, like 600 square feet or something. And I started to bring in these faucets. And of course I needed a name and had no budget, I had no money. The company that I started with was a company called Rubinetteria Giustina, which unfortunately is not even around anymore. So I said, I'm going to be smart. I'm not going to promote anybody else's brand. I'm going to create my own brand this time. So this stuff is paid for. I paid for it. The arrangement is I'm going to be importer and distributor. Right. And I noticed when I was in Italy, all the faucet manufacturers were Cristina, Rubinetteria, or they all had that common denominator, which was Rubinetteria, which means faucet. And somehow in French, it makes sense, Robinet, right? So I blanked out the Teria and the Justina and the Cristina and the Teresa and Mamma Mia, whatever, right? And stuck with the Rubinet. And I knew how important it was to build a brand. And that was the whole objective, that I wanted my own brand. The same thing with the gold. So you see the difference between the black. But as I started to sell these faucets, what I learned was that the Italian products were great aesthetically. A lot of the European stuff was great aesthetically. But the North American practicality is unbelievable too. What they do very well is they have this really practical approach of installation, really plumber friendly. They've done such a great job. And meanwhile, you take like this European thing and it has like 812 parts that you gotta lay out on the floor and the plumber's scratching his head. So I quickly learned that this was a great opportunity. So I can take the North American practicality and logic, marry it with the European design and the fashion side of the business. I think I'm onto something here. I had to learn quick. And so I gathered up different plumbers and picked their brain, and so that took like a couple of years before we got it going, and we still had a lot of resistance with plumbers. So what I did is the first few bucks I made, I spent it in beautiful literature and all that, and I actually made a commercial. So what I did is I took the concept of plumbers hating us and flipped it and came out with this 5-year warranty, which at the time was a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And then as we developed, of course, I had these great ideas of going with big designers and getting them to endorse the product. I actually did reach out to some of the big names, and they wanted like a 10% royalty, which was fine, except that their commission was like $1 million. And I go, are you kidding? Our sales are like not even that much. So anyway, so I had to become the designer real quick. When you can integrate these two things, the commercial side of it and the artistic side of it, and you can actually make a business out of it and generate an income from it. It's a pretty good thing. One thing we made sure we did is that never did what anybody else is doing. So we stayed in our own lane. There's oceans of chrome faucets out there, and everybody's got them, and they're great. I mean, they're practical and all that stuff. I would never say anything against it. And we have chrome faucets, as many as you'd like to. But I really think, like, especially in this type of business that we're in, which is, we want people to be excited when they do their bathroom. We're almost like a custom shop with standard component parts. So we figured out how to, everything behind the walls, everything underneath the counters, let's call those the engines, are standard. We use the best of the best that money can buy and the technology. So we've standardized that from everything from pressure balancing devices to thermostatic devices to diverter mechanisms, etc., etc. And we used only the best technology known to this point. Then we cover all that with a lifetime warranty. So as long as you own the product, you're guaranteed your parts and stuff like that. So, and that's what's made Rubinet really, is our service, right? Because people that have had our faucets from 38 years ago know they can come here and still get parts.
These valves are all made, tested here at Rubinet. We put from stock to cartridges to the complete housing, and then shipped out complete.
Now, actually, we're ordering robots. The robotic arms repeats the same process, right? So we're just dedicated to that. We started in 1982. In March of next year, it'll be 40 years. So that's a long time. So I better have learned this business by now.